Rain hammered the motel roof like it wanted to break through. I pushed the door shut behind me and wiped water from my eyes. She stood near the bed, arms wrapped around herself, her dress clinging to her like it was painted on. Her voice was soft but trembling. "Stay inside. The storm is getting worse." I swallowed hard. "You sure you want me here?" "You look freezing," she said. She avoided my eyes, then glanced up quickly. "And I do not want to be alone tonight." I felt heat crawl up my neck. "We just met." "Not really." She stepped closer. Her hair smelled like rain and citrus. "We talked for hours in the lobby before they told us only one room was left. That counts for something." I sat on the edge of the bed. The air felt warm and electric. "I can sleep on the floor." "No." She shook her head quickly. "You can take the bed. I will stay on the chair." "That chair looks like a punishment." Her lips curved slightly. "Maybe I deserve it." Something inside me tightened. "Why would you say that?" She looked away, fingers gripping the hem of a dress. "Forget it. I talk too much when I am scared." The storm cracked loud outside. Instinct pushed me toward her. "Maureen," I whispered. She froze. "You remember my name. You told me earlier." "People forget me easily," she said. "You did not." I reached for the blanket on the bed and placed it around her shoulders. My fingers brushed her skin. She shivered, and I knew it was not from the cold. She sat beside me, close enough that our knees touched. Her voice broke into the silence. "Why were you alone tonight, Adrian?" I hesitated. "Long day. Bad life decisions. Nothing dramatic." "I do not believe that," she said. "Your eyes look like you are running from something." I laughed under my breath. "You analyze strangers often. Only when they matter." That line hit harder than it should have. I turned toward her, and for a moment neither of us spoke. Her breathing slowed. Mine matched it. The storm outside faded into a soft background roar. She leaned her head on my shoulder. "Just until the thunder stops. Please." I let her. Maybe I needed it too. Hours passed like minutes. We talked softly about things that should not have felt so intimate. Favorite songs. Fears. What kept us awake at night. Her hand brushed mine once. Then again. Each time felt intentional. By the time morning light pushed through the blinds, she was gone. The blanket lay folded neatly on the chair. The room felt colder than it had during the storm. I tried to forget her. I tried to pretend it was nothing. But 3 months later, I walked into the company lobby and froze. She stood there. Same eyes. Same voice. "Adrian," she whispered when she saw me. "I need your help." My heartbeat kicked into overdrive. "Maureen, what are you doing here?" "I did not use you that night," she said quickly. "I need you to believe that." Before I could answer, 2 security guards approached. "So, is this woman bothering you?" one asked. Maureen panicked. Her hand shot out and grabbed mine. Her voice trembled. "If you leave again, you will regret it more than the first time." Maureen stood in front of me like she had been waiting for this moment. The lobby lights reflected off the polished floor, and for a second it felt too bright, as if the truth she carried might bend through both of us. I stepped closer. "How did you find me here?" She tensed. "I had to. You left without giving me a choice." "That was 3 months ago," I said. "You should not know where I work, or what floor I am on, or that I hate thunderstorms. I never told you that." Her eyes flickered. "I had reasons." "Then tell me." She looked toward the tall lobby windows where rain began tapping against the glass. The sound pulled a memory out of me like a thread. A quiet sniff in the motel room. Her shaking beside me in the dark. I had pretended to be asleep to give her privacy, but I had heard everything. She turned back to me. "I need a place to stay. Just for a night. I will not ask for more." Her voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly. I took a slow breath. "I cannot bring you home," I said. "I barely know you. You know me better than you think. Stop talking in circles." "I am trying not to scare you," she whispered. "If I tell you everything at once, you will run again." That hit deeper than she knew. I stepped back, trying to ground myself. The security guards from earlier hovered nearby. Maureen noticed and wrapped her arms around herself. "I will leave," she said quietly. "You do not owe me anything." She turned and started walking toward the exit. Something about her small steps, The way her shoulders curved inward snapped something in me. Marin, wait. She kept moving. I jogged forward and grabbed her wrist gently. She flinched first, then relaxed, then finally looked up. You are shaking, I said. I told you I had nowhere to go. I hesitated only a second. Fine, come with me. Just for now. Her breath released like she had been holding it for hours. We stepped into the rain. It soaked her hair instantly. She looked fragile in a way that made me feel protective without meaning to. I unlocked my car. When she sat inside, she pulled her knees close, trying to warm herself. The scent of wet citrus drifted toward me again. It made the storm easier to breathe through. She glanced at me. Thank you. Where are we going? I know a short-term rental place a few blocks away, she said. It is safe. Mostly. Mostly. She did not answer that. The silence grew thick, almost suffocating. Marin, I said, keeping my eyes on the road. Why did you come back into my life? I was not done with you. That is not an answer. It is the only one I can give without hurting you. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel. You keep saying things like that. Things that make no sense. She turned her face toward the window. Raindrops blurred the city lights. It will make sense soon. When we reached the rental building, she stepped out slowly, as if her legs barely held her. I walked her to the door. She watched me like she was memorizing every detail of my face. Stay inside tonight, I said. Lock everything. She nodded, but she did not move. I turned to leave. Her hand caught mine. Her voice was barely above a breath. You really do not remember me, do you? Marin stood in the center of the small rental room, clutching her sleeves like she expected me to accuse her of something. The air felt heavy, packed with questions I had avoided until now. I shut the door behind me. Tell me what you meant last night. You said I did not remember you. Explain that. Her breath hitched. Adrian, it is not something I can say without knowing you will stay. Stay for what? Another half-truth. Her eyes flashed with hurt, but she stepped closer. I felt her warmth before she spoke. We met before the motel. Where? She hesitated. You were not in a good place then. My hand tightened on the back of a chair. Instantly, a sharp image struck me. White hallways. Disinfectant. A hand in mine. A voice saying I would be all right. My chest tightened so hard I lost my breath. Marin noticed. You remembered something. I do not know what I remembered, I said. It felt like a hospital. She backed up slowly, as if she had been caught. You should not push yourself. Your memories were damaged. That stopped me cold. How do you know that? Her silence answered more than words. I stepped toward her. Marin, what were you to me back then? She reached into her bag with trembling fingers and pulled out a small metal keychain. It was bent, scratched, the paint long gone. She offered it with both hands. You gave me this, she whispered. Years ago. I took it hesitantly. The metal was warm from her touch. The moment it hit my palm, something surged through me. A shock of familiarity, too quick to understand. A girl crying beside a hospital bed. My voice telling her to hold on. Then darkness. My knees felt weak. Why would I give you this? You cared, she said. More than anyone else did. I do not remember any of that. Her eyes filled with something sharp and vulnerable. I know. That is why I did not want to say it. You deserve to remember on your own. I sat on the edge of the bed, trying to breathe steadily. Why are you bringing this to me now? Why show up after all this time? Because you left the motel without letting me explain. I thought you would disappear again. She took a step closer. I cannot handle losing you twice. Marin, I do not even know who you really are. You do, she said softly. Inside you do. But I will not force you to remember. She reached for my hand, then stopped an inch away. I will tell you the truth. All of it. But I need to know something first. What? Promise me you will not walk out while I am talking. I pulled my hand back slightly. I cannot make promises I do not understand. Her face fell. For a moment, the only sound was the faint hum of the refrigerator. Then she nodded slowly. Then I will wait, she whispered. There was something heartbreaking about the way she said it. Something that made me stay right where I was when every instinct told me to run. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I looked down at the screen. It was my boss. I answered, "Hey, is everything all right?" His voice came through tight and serious. "Not really. HR got a complaint this morning. Someone said you have been harboring a stranger in company spaces." My stomach dropped. What? Who told them that? The report was anonymous, but it mentions the woman from yesterday. "Adrian, you need to be careful. This looks bad." I turned toward Maureen. She stood completely still, watching me, and for the first time, I wondered if she had set something in motion, or if someone else wanted her close to me for a reason I did not understand. "You did what?" Maureen's voice cracked as I repeated the message from HR. The rental room felt even smaller, the walls pressing in, shadows stretching across her face. "Someone filed a complaint," I said. "They called you dangerous. They said I am hiding you. Tell me what is going on." She backed toward the window, her breath sharp and uneven. "Adrian, you need to listen to me. Someone is following me. Someone who does not want me near you." My pulse kicked hard. "Who?" "I cannot say." "You keep holding back. If my job is on the line, I deserve the truth." She shook her head, hair falling over her eyes. "If I say the name, you become a target again. I cannot drag you into that." "Again." The word cut through me. "What do you mean again?" She pressed her lips together, refusing to answer. I stepped closer, feeling frustration rise like heat in my throat. "Stop hiding things," I said. "You expect me to trust you. Then trust me back." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I'm trying to keep you alive." That line froze me. Real fear trembled under her words. Not drama, not manipulation. Fear. I moved to the side as she gripped her arms tightly. "If someone is after you, why come to me? You were the only person I could still trust." She looked up with eyes that shined under the dim lamp. "But now they know I found you. You cannot trust anyone at your company." "That makes no sense." "It will," she said. "Soon." She walked toward the kitchen area, trying to calm her breathing. I watched her hands shake as she reached for a glass of water. Before she could drink, she froze. A quiet engine rumbled outside. Slow, controlled. I moved to the blinds and lifted a corner. A black car had stopped right in front of the building. "Maureen," I said. "Do you know that car?" Her whole body stiffened. The glass in her hand rattled. "Turn off the lights." "What?" "Turn them off now." I shut the lamp. The room fell into a soft darkness, lit only by faint street lights slipping through the blinds. Maureen grabbed my wrist and pulled me deeper into the room. I whispered, "Who are they?" She pressed a finger to my lips. Not romantic, terrified. Footsteps approached the door, each step slow, deliberate, like the person on the other side knew exactly why they were here. Maureen held her breath. I felt her nails dig lightly into my arm as the footsteps stopped right outside. A shadow shifted under the door. Then something slid across the floor. Paper. The footsteps retreated a second later. The car engine started. The sound drifted away into the night. I waited until silence settled before reaching for the note. Maureen stayed back, shaking. The paper was folded once. My name was written on the front in thick black ink. Not hers. Mine. I opened it. Maureen watched my reaction, fear widening her eyes. The message was short, angry, sharp. "Bring her back before she ruins you again." My throat tightened. Again, my past and hers were tied together. Someone knew it, and I still did not remember any of it. I held the note in my hand, the paper trembling against my palm. "Tell me what this means." My voice came out low, sharper than I intended. Maureen's eyes widened. "Where did you get that?" "It was slipped under the door. Addressed to me. So talk." Her breathing hitched. She backed into the counter, fingers digging into the edge like she needed something to hold her upright. The room felt tight. Stale air, dim light, her scent mixing with panic. "I never wanted you involved," she whispered. "You already involved me." I stepped closer. "So tell me why someone thinks I need to bring you back." Her lips trembled. For a moment she looked like she might run. Then she broke. "We met before," she said. "Years ago." My stomach knotted. "I know you keep saying that, but I don't remember." "You were in the hospital." Her voice thinned. "You were hurt from a crash. 5 years ago." A cold pulse crawled down my spine. I remember the crash. But not you. You were in pain, barely conscious. I was there for another reason, and something happened. Someone tried to hurt me that night. She swallowed hard. You stopped him. I stared at her. The words didn't make sense. Me. I stopped someone. You pulled me into a storage room and locked the door. You shielded me until security came. She stepped closer. You held my hand. You told me I was safe. You told me to breathe. My head buzzed like a swarm of wires shorting out. I tried to picture it. A hallway. Cold tiles. Voices. A hand in mine. But the memory slid away like smoke between fingers. I tried to find you after, she said. But every time I got close, someone blocked me. Someone who didn't want us to reconnect. That makes no sense. Why would anyone care about two strangers meeting once? She hesitated. Because he wasn't a stranger to you. A chill settled under my skin. Who? I will tell you, she whispered. I swear I will. But I need you to believe that I never wanted to hurt you. Believing you requires proof. She reached into her bag with shaking hands and pulled out her phone. She tapped the screen, then turned it toward me. A photo. My arm around her. Her face buried in my shoulder. My hospital gown visible in the corner of the frame. And my hand gripping hers like I never wanted to let go. My breath left me in a slow, rough exhale. How did I forget this? You were sedated. In shock. They moved you to another ward the next morning. I left before you woke up. She stepped closer again, voice soft. But I never forgot you. The room felt too warm, too small. I could feel the heat of her body, the sincerity trembling in her words. Tell me who is after you, I said. Tell me who wants you gone. Her eyes flicked to the window as if expecting a shadow to appear. It is someone connected to your company. Someone who warned me to stay away from you. Someone who thinks I will destroy your life again. Again, what does that mean? She opened her mouth. A breath. A whisper forming. Then the light snapped off. The room plunged into darkness. My pulse slammed against my ribs. Murrin grabbed my arm. Adrian, this is what I was afraid of. I heard footsteps outside. Slow. Deliberate. The doorknob rattled. Someone was trying to come in. She clung to me, voice shaking. He found us. The doorknob clicked. Cut to black. The door shook so hard I felt it through the floorboards. Murrin's nails dug into my arm. He is coming in, she whispered. I pulled her toward the bathroom. Hide. Do not make a sound. She shook her head, terrified, but I gently pushed her inside and closed the door. Her breathing was loud enough that I pressed my palm over her mouth for a moment. Her eyes glistened in the dim light. It will be fine, I said. I am right here. The front door slammed open. Wood splintered. Heavy boots stepped into the apartment. I slipped out before Murrin could grab me again. My pulse hammered in my ears. The intruder moved with confidence, like he knew the layout, like he had been inside before. Shadows cut his figure into sharp shapes. Who are you? I demanded. He froze. When he turned, the hallway light hit his face. Recognition flashed in his eyes. Not mine. His. He stared at me like he had seen a ghost. You, he said. The word cracked. Not again. Before I could step forward, he bolted. Sprinting out the door, down the stairs, gone within seconds. I chased him to the landing, but the night swallowed him whole. The only thing left was the cold metal of the broken lock hanging loose on the frame. Murrin rushed out of the bathroom and crashed into me. She clung to my shirt like she was trying to steady her soul. Did he hurt you? I asked. She shook her head. I saw him. I know that face. He was there 5 years ago. My breath stalled. Are you sure? I am sure. She pressed her forehead to my chest. He was watching me in the hospital corridor. I thought he was security, but he followed me for weeks after. I wrapped my arms around her without thinking. The tremor in her body felt too real to ignore. We need to get out, I said. Right now. We hurried to the car. The night felt colder than it should have. I kept checking the mirrors as I drove, waiting for headlights that looked too familiar. Murrin gripped my arm with both hands. You are shaking, I said. She nodded. I am scared. You are safe with me. Something in her expression softened. She leaned slightly closer, her voice barely a breath. You were the only one who ever showed me kindness. Her words settled under my skin like heat. I felt her fingertips press into my sleeve, reluctant to let go even when I shifted gears. Murrin, I said, trying to keep my thoughts steady. I need to know everything. No more half-truths. She watched the road ahead, then the mirrors, then me. If I tell you, you will think I am lying. Try me. She swallowed. The man who broke in. He does not follow orders on his own. Whose orders then? Silence filled the car. The kind that stretches, pulls, threatens to snap. She looked down, her grip tightening. You will hate me for this. I will not. You might. She took a breath that shook her whole body. Because the man after me does not work for some stranger. Then who? She finally lifted her eyes to mine. Fear. Resignation. Regret. He works for your family. Her words hit me like a blow. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. The car swerved slightly before I corrected it. What did you say? Your family, she repeated. They're the ones who want me gone. Cut to black. Murrin's voice kept replaying in my head. Your family wants me gone. I parked in front of Evan Rourke's warehouse office before the engine even cooled. The air smelled like metal and dust. I walked inside with my chest tight. Evan looked up from his desk. His expression froze. You should not be here, Adrian. I stepped closer. Did my father hire someone to follow Murrin? He leaned back, folding his arms. You do not want those answers. I need them. He studied me for a long moment. Your father believed the crash 5 years ago was staged to get to him. Anyone connected to that night became a risk. Murrin is not a risk. That is what you think. Evan tapped a pen against the table. She should have stayed, disappeared. The word sent a cold shock down my spine. What does that mean? It means she was supposed to be gone for good. I grabbed the edge of his desk. Gone where? He shook his head. You are asking the wrong person. That man who broke into the rental. Was he one of yours? No, Evan looked almost offended. But he was hired by someone with deeper pockets than this old office. My father. Evan did not answer. Which was an answer. I left before I did something I would regret. When I reached the car, Murrin was waiting where I left her. Her knees were pulled to her chest, and her chin rested on them. She looked up the moment I opened the door. What did he say? She asked. He confirmed enough. Her face fell. So you believe me? I'm trying to. She touched my arm gently. Trying is enough. The gesture sent a warm ache through my ribs. I started the car. The sky dimmed into a soft gold as we drove. Murrin slowly leaned her head against my shoulder. I felt her breathing steady, each breath matching the movement of the road. You should sleep, I said. She murmured, I feel safe next to you. Her fingers curled over my sleeve. I kept driving even though my heart had stopped moving normally. She fell asleep within minutes, her weight warm against me. I kept glancing at her, wondering how someone could be hunted for knowing me. By the time I pulled into a quieter road, the sun had vanished. I did not want to wake her, but my phone rang. The caller ID froze me. My family lawyer. I answered. What do you want? Adrian, you need to listen carefully. His tone was firm, urgent. Do not trust the girl you are with. She has been hunted for knowing me. Someone from my family ordered it. That is not the whole story. Then tell me the whole story. The line crackled. She is not who she says she is. My grip tightened. Explain. You need to get away from her. I'm not leaving her. You do not understand. The lawyer's voice sharpened. You think she is a victim. But Adrian, she was at the center of everything that happened to you 5 years ago. She is not innocent. She is the reason your life almost ended. I stared at Murrin as she slept against me. The lawyer spoke again. She is lying to you about everything. The moment I ended the call with the lawyer, my pulse was pounding so hard I could hear it. Murrin, or whatever her name really was. She was still asleep on my shoulder, warm and trusting, while my entire world twisted under me. I shook her gently. Wake up. We need to talk. She blinked, groggy, then froze when she saw my expression. Adrian, what happened? My lawyer called. I gripped the steering wheel to steady myself. He said you are not who you say you are. Her lips parted. I can explain. Then explain, I said. Start with your real name. She shut her eyes as if bracing for impact. Arden. Arden Vale. The name hit me like cold water. I stepped out of the car and paced across the empty parking lot. The night air burned in my lungs. She followed slowly, arms wrapped around herself. Adrian, please. I turned to her. Why did you lie to me? Why did you let me believe you were Maureen Hale? Because you would have walked away. Her voice cracked. You did before. I do not remember any of that. I know. She looked at the ground. But forgetting does not mean you did not leave. I stepped closer. My lawyer said you were the daughter of a whistleblower. That my father's company was involved. That the crash was not an accident. Her eyes glossed with tears. My father tried to expose things your father did. People came after us. He died because of it. And you came to me why? To use me. To get revenge. No, she reached for my hand. I pulled it away. She flinched. I came because you helped me once. You saved me during the crash, even when you barely survived yourself. I do not remember that. I said again, louder this time. You held my hand in the hospital. You told me I would be safe. Her voice trembled. But after you woke up, they told you I was a stranger who caused your accident. They took me away before I could tell you the truth. Her breath hitched. You trusted me. Once. Before everything was rewritten. My chest tightened painfully. So everything you have said since we met again was a lie. Not a lie. A name. A name I changed so your family could not find me again. I stared at her. At the girl who had been hunted for years. At the girl who somehow knew me better than I knew myself. Adrian, she whispered. I did not want to drag you back into this. Then why come to my workplace? Why find me? She swallowed hard. Because the people who killed my father are moving again. And you are not as safe as you think. Her voice broke completely. I thought if I showed up as Ardenvale, you would push me away before I could explain. So I used the only name that did not endanger you. Anger and longing warred inside me. I wanted to pull her close. I wanted to run. She stepped toward me, hands shaking. You can hate me for lying. You can hate the name. But do not pretend you do not feel this too. Her fingers brushed my wrist. A spark shot up my arm. Adrian, she whispered, breath trembling. If you walk out now, you will make the same mistake. And this time, it might kill me. The second car came out of nowhere. Headlights cut across the pavement and I yanked Arden behind me. Tires screeched. A door slammed. They found us, she whispered. Get in the car. My voice shook but I forced it steady. Now. She obeyed, breath ragged. I floored it, weaving through side streets, every shadow looking like a threat. When we reached the lake cabin an hour later, the sky was black and the air smelled of pine and cold water. I killed the lights and pulled her inside. Arden paced, clutching her arms. They will not stop, Adrian. I know. They want to erase everything connected to that night. I said I know. She froze when she heard the break in my voice. I stepped closer. Tell me again what happened during the crash. Her eyes trembled. Are you sure you want to hear this now? Yes. She drew a shaky breath. The car hit us from behind. You shielded me with your body. You were bleeding but you kept holding my hand. You told me not to be scared. You told me you would not leave. A sharp pain shot through my head. Not physical. Something deeper. A memory trying to claw its way out. I grabbed the back of a chair for balance. I hear something. I hear someone screaming. It was me, she whispered. The cabin blurred. My knees buckled and I sank down. Arden rushed to me and her touch was so familiar it hurt. Adrian, look at me. Her palms held my face. The scent of rain from her hair. Her lips inches from mine. The world narrowed to her voice. You said my name, she whispered. I did. You have not said it once since we met again. Arden. Arden Vale. The name pulsed inside me like I had said it 1,000 times before. Another flash hit me. The ambulance lights. Her fingers slipping through mine. Me begging the paramedics not to separate us. I grabbed her wrist. I remember you. Tears filled her eyes instantly. Please say it again. I remember you. I remember the crash. I remember holding your hand. She collapsed into my arms, sobbing hard against my chest. I held her tight, breathing in the warmth of her skin, the tremble of her shoulders. I am sorry, I whispered into her hair. For forgetting, for leaving, for everything. You did not leave me. They took me away. I will never let them take you again. She pulled back slightly, her forehead against mine. Promise. I promise. For a moment, everything was still. Her breath. Mine. The quiet lake outside. Her hand slid down to my chest and her fingers curled into my shirt like she needed to anchor herself to me. Then a floorboard creaked. Both of us turned. A window shattered. Run, I said, shoving her behind me. Armed men rushed in, faces covered, movements precise. Arden screamed my name as they grabbed her. I lunged, but someone slammed a baton into my ribs. Pain exploded and I hit the floor hard. Adrian. Her voice broke with terror. I crawled toward her. My hand stretched out. Let her go. One of the men pulled her through the door. Orders say she comes with us. Stop. My vision blurred. Please. Arden reached for me as they dragged her away. Do not let them take me again. Her voice echoed across the lake. Then a final blow knocked me down. Everything went silent. The office was cold. The city lights barely touched the marble floor. I walked in, heart pounding. My father sat behind the desk, expression unreadable. Adrian, he said, calm. You should not have come. Stop lying, I said, fists clenched. Tell me where she is. He leaned back. She belongs to this world, not yours. You cannot protect her. Try me, I said. I am done listening. I am done being controlled. His eyes narrowed, a flicker of something I had never seen. Fear, anger. I could not tell. You have no idea what you are asking. I know exactly what I'm asking. I want Arden, and I want the truth. He laughed, low and dangerous. The truth is yours only when you are ready to destroy yourself. I am ready. He did not answer. That silence was enough. I left, every step echoing like a countdown. The GPS signal from her last known phone pinged at an abandoned corporate site on the outskirts. I drove with my hands gripping the wheel, tension crawling through every vein. Rain began falling in sheets, soaking the windshield. The storm from the night we first shared that room had returned. I slipped inside the dark building. My boots echoed across concrete floors. Shadows shifted. A door creaked. There she was, Arden, tied to a chair, her hair damp and clinging to her face. Her eyes widened when she saw me. Adrian, she whispered. I am here, I said, moving forward. You are safe now. She shook her head, tears streaking down her cheeks. I knew you would come. I cut the ropes around her wrists. She leaned against me immediately, shivering. I could feel her heartbeat against mine, wild and fast. I'm done running, I said softly. From you, from my past, from that night. Her lips brushed my shoulder in a fragile kiss. I trust you. I pulled her close. Our foreheads touched. The rain outside pounded like it had the night we first met. The city lights reflected in puddles, shimmering on her wet hair. I kissed the top of her head, feeling the weight of every lost day, every secret, every fear melt away. Never leave me again, she whispered. Her hand found mine, fingers intertwined tightly, refusing to let go. I won't, I said. Not now, not ever. We stepped into the rain together. Each drop soaked us, but I barely felt it. I held her close, guiding us through the streets, the storm washing away the darkness that had haunted us for years. Her head rested on my shoulder. Her hand never left mine. Every step was a promise. Every heartbeat, a vow. The sky above rumbled with thunder. Lightning split the clouds. I looked down at her, eyes burning with everything I felt. I'm done hiding, I said. Done running. From you, from me, from everything. Her lips curved into a faint smile. Then we face it together. The next storm rolled in, fierce and relentless, just like the night that had brought us together. Only this time, we were ready. Our hands stayed locked, wet and warm. I would never let go.